but I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Welcome to the 41st Breakfast Ball. I'm your host, Bob Cardia, and to my left, oh wait, there's nobody here to my left today. The dashing Richie Stoltz is at a wedding and DMG got detained, so you got me today, folks. So let's just dive right in. So first things first, if you consider not winning a failure, right? No. What I'll tell you is if you don't win, but you can look yourself in the eye and say you gave maximum effort, and you can walk away saying you learned something, guess what? You didn't fail. You might not have won the contest, but you learned something. And thus, in my mind, you're winning. Now, I'll tell you, winning does require some things that I think are essential. Like I always say, whatever career you're in, you really, it's great to pay the bills, but if you have a passion for it, that's considerably better. If you're going to take something up, especially a fine motor skill sport like golf, you have to understand it's progress through 1,000 cuts. It takes a while to get there. Now, with that said, okay, progress, 1,000 cuts, getting a little bit done at a time. I know, because I'm a lifelong learner and reader, and I like to think, as my father would say, a student of the game. What you need to do is when you develop a passion for something, right, fuel that fire, the motivation. Because what studies show, golf, and funny as it may be, I guess I'm glutton because I took up something that also has a high dropout rate, is guitar. Like, how hard could guitar be, right? It's 6 strings in a box. And how hard could golf be? As my high school baseball teacher, baseball coach rather, used to say, Cardia, how hard could golf be? The ball don't move. I was captain of the golf team in high school, and Mr. Martin was the baseball coach. He was also my gym teacher. So I actually bumped into Mr. Martin not too long ago. He's still with us. It was good to see him. But yeah, he used to say, Cardia, how hard could golf be? The ball don't move. True, right? Right. But that's what makes it frustrating. And with guitar, 6 strings and you move your fingers. That's what makes it frustrating. So you need to know that small progress is the norm. Okay. And if you continue on the path, then you'll get there. Which I guess escapes most people, especially I think in today's generation, where they talk about instant gratification. Know that working on something like that requires time. Now, with that said, passion for excellence, right? That's what I'm talking about. If you can develop a passion for it, thus self-motivation for it, you'll get better, okay? A lot of it is an attitude. And having worked with a lot of championship athletes, our SID gave me the stats not too long ago, but I think 52 first-team all-conference players I have, and I can't remember how many player of the years I've had, maybe a half dozen All-Americans. I've worked with actually in other sports, guys that have gone on to become all-stars. But a commonality in all of them is some of them are harder on themselves than others. And I recently had a player the other day who, after the second round of tryouts, was quite upset. And I told him I'm okay, if not, I don't know, happy with him being upset. As long as you're channeling that towards the greater good, you're doing the Tom Brady syndrome type thing. As long as you're taking what's happening to you, okay, and turning that into something that you learned. If you're not, well then, yeah, then that can be destructive. But on the whole, it's not okay. It's not okay to be destructive. It's okay to be upset if you can let that go. I remember I played golf with a guy named Henry Van Antwerp, qualifier for the World Teachers Cup, I don't know, like 20 years ago or something like that. And he was from South Africa. I believe he played his junior golf with Ernie Els. And he said to me after a couple of shots, "Don't carry, Bob, don't carry." I'm like, don't carry. Like I don't follow you. And basically, in his the way they expressed it in South Africa was carrying meant carrying emotions. Don't carry emotions. Like the Tiger Woods 10-step rule, or I heard of another one the other day. It was the second you rip off the Velcro on your glove after a shot, or the second you put your club back in the bag, it's over, right? It's over. Move on. Now, like I was just saying, motivation, right? Golf is motivation over 1,000 cuts. So the second quote of the day that I talk about is, you don't sneak up on success. You take it 1 inch at a time. So if you do that and love what you do and realize it's a marathon and not a sprint, that can keep you in the right mind frame. However, I mean, I know it. I see it all the time, right? Type A type personalities, right? The ones that want instant gratification. If you get upset, if you start to turn your emotions into a negative variety, or you start breathing too fast, or you start, focusing or obsessing on something that's happening during the round, that's not going to work. So I'm going to give you, and this is from Laura's book also, 10 tips to promote relaxation. Relaxation, right, promotes success. Success promotes motivation. And you see how it all rolls into one? I know it seems obvious, but as I told my players all the time, if thinking well was easy, everybody would do it. And then we have that Zig Ziglar quote, which I absolutely love. They say, motivation doesn't always last. And Ziglar said, well, neither does bathing, but I suggest that you do it every day. So if you follow me, if you experience small degree of success, inch by inch, it'll help your motivation, thus help your outlook, thus help your progress. So number one, if you find yourself, stressed, if you find yourself getting tense on a golf course, if you find yourself getting tense in life, number one, slow down your breathing as much as possible. And the first few in here, these are in Laura's book, but I'll tell you what, if you read Ben Hogan's The 5 Lessons, or at least follow Hogan, The Modern Fundamentals of Golf, he talks about a bunch of these things. So he was probably way, way, way ahead of the curve. But if you slow down your breathing, it also slows down your heart rate. And it also, it stops a lot of the tension and adrenaline flowing through your body. Number two, take more time doing everything, okay? Hogan, right? Got up earlier, walked slower, right? On tournament mornings, took his time, right? Get the heart rate down. 3, focus on doing your best, not winning or losing, right? The people that become, and has this happened to you? I'm sure it has on the golf course. It's happened to everybody, because I was talking to another student actually last night. He's like, I was 4 under through 12. And I was thinking, I've never been here before. And I think we talked about it with Coleman a couple episodes ago. Once you start thinking about, boy, if I birdie the last 4 holes, it'll be the best record. No, the second, it actually leads right into number 4, which is a Dr. Bob Rotella thing that I've been doing for years. Stay in the present. Nothing that happens 5 seconds from now, and nothing that happened 5 seconds ago, you can worry about, right? Especially 5 seconds ago. I mean, candidly, guys, I'm in a unique position in my life, because I've made mistakes. There's things that I've done that I wish I could go back and do over, but ultimately, guys, you can't, right? You can't change what happened. All you can do is go from where you are and move forward, and not worry about what happened in the past. If you feel your muscle, this is more of a physiological one, but if you feel certain muscles tightening, okay, let's say your hands or your shoulders, what the studies will tell you is focus on them, tighten them, and then consciously breathe slowly and relax them, and that often takes the tension out of the muscle. You hear the expression shake it out. You ever see somebody shaking it out? If that relieves the tension in the muscle, that's often a really good thing. Love this one. Focus on your target. Okay, focus on your target. Don't focus on disturbing thoughts like anything else going on around you, right? So, what somebody else is doing, or boy, if I bogey this hole, I might lose, or if I birdie this hole, I might win. Just focus on bang. That's my target. That's what I'm going for. Play down the importance in your mind. That's number 7. Often when you build something up, and I think this happened to one of my players the other day. Often when you build something up in your mind that this is the mecca, this is probably, but when you get into that, that raises your heart level, and when that raises your heart level, that raises your adrenaline level, and when that raises your adrenaline level, more can go wrong, right? What you want to do is just focus. And guys, it's a target sport. It's the ultimate target sport, actually. You could be a half inch away, or you could be 600 yards away. Yeah, if you're focused on the target, and specifically the pre-shot routine, if you focus on both of those, guess what? Okay, that takes your mind off all the other stuff out there. Like we always said, no, we said it in other podcasts before, but if I said, hey, there's an alligator behind you, right? You're not thinking about, anything else. Oh my gosh, oh, by the way, block that alligator out. You can't, right? What you have to do is focus on the task at hand, and in this case, the target. Playing down the importance, right? Number 8, stay positive. I get back to that story of the kid I worked with, gosh, at least 20 years ago. Talking about staying positive. And after the round, I went over to him and I said, "How'd you think today, David?" I said, "Well, how are you thinking?" He said, "Thinking well is hard." Yeah. If everybody thought well, everybody'd be great, right? Stay positive. Try to feed yourself positive thoughts. Now, if you're having trouble with that, and we all have, I have, go to this next one here. Again, this is from Lure, but I love it. It's the finest hour outlook. All right. I remember, and again, this is probably 15 years ago at least, but we have golf camp. We used to play 9 holes with the kids on the course, and it was the 18th hole, and one of the groups asked me, Coach Bob, can you play the last hole with us? So I hit my tee shot down the fairway, and I can remember this in such vividness that it's like one of my finest hour stories that I pump into my head when I'm playing a little pressure shot. I remember it so vividly. It actually was the favorite wedge I had in the bag at the time. It was a Parabuilt TPS beryllium copper wedge, and I was probably right about maybe $1.05 out from the hole, and all the parents, they were coming to pick up the kids from the camp, were all behind the green. So there was probably a gallery of 30 or 40 kids with their parents, so let's just say 50, 60 people behind the green. And I'm stepping up to hit my wedge, and I hit it. I crisped it. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful summer day. Ball sails in the air. Bam! It jarred it. Made the eagle. The parents, the kids, everybody was jumping up and down, high-fiving. The kids were high-fiving. One kid gave me a hug. And I remember that, that is something that I remember so well and so vividly. So now, if I'm over a shot, right, and there's a lot going on and that shot is important, if you start to focus on your finest hour, right, that is something that can be enormously successful, in terms of getting calm, again, and getting success, thus getting motivation. Now the last one, try to have fun, right? Try to have fun. I always, people say I'm gonna go work on my game, and I like work on my game. I like the expression, but sometimes I don't love it, because when I say work, most people associate work with some kind of pain. I like, I'm gonna go to try to improve my golf game. I'm gonna go increase my understanding, or I'm gonna go be the best version of myself I can be. When you put it that way, it makes it seem a lot more fun. Or if you're on the driving range and you're playing a game with yourself, a target game, or number of great shots in a row type of thing. That makes it fun. If you can make things fun, again, it provides, a little bit more success, and it provides a little bit more motivation, and thus you stay with it. So those are the 10 things. I'll read them real quickly again. Slow down your breathing, take more time with what you're doing, focus on doing your best, not winning or losing, stay in the present. If you feel your muscles tighten, contract and relax them. Focus on your target, not a disturbing thought. Play down the importance in your mind. Stay positive. Remember your finest hour, and try to have fun. Thanks for watching today, folks. Subscribe if you like what we're doing. Please subscribe, okay? I love it. We got over 100 and something subscribers this past month, which is awesome. I think we're now like 30 something away from the 500 mark, which is awesome. We're trying to get to that 1,000 by the end of the year, and if we continue at that pace, we surely will. If you love what we're doing, say, I love the breakfast ball in the comment section. Say, I love the breakfast ball in the comment section, and we put you in a drawing for a gift card. And as always, guys, if you get anything out of what we do, and you end up being rich and famous, we get 10%. Oh, and yes, we also have a shop, guys, the Breakfast Ball Shop. If you go on our South Jersey Golf School website, we do have logo and apparel if you're interested in that. I know we got an order of about 6 to 10 items last week, so thank you for that. God bless. See you next week.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol, because no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.